Yeah.
I don't have to like stress out about, okay, are we going to be able to
Because you were
get
going to rent a car anyway to go to Dodger Stadium
Yeah,
one night. So, like,
we're
this
going to
works
rent it
out.
for 2 days anyway. So,
Yeah, this works
just
out.
land, get the car at the airport, take it back to the airport, be done with it.
Yeah.
Anyway, hey, everybody. Happy Sunday night. Get ready for tonight's BOGP Open Line. I apologize. I have some allergies going on, but we will make it. It's June in the Midwest, and the heat index is 106 right now, so it's hot. Everything is burning. Did you see my Instagram?
No.
Did you see that? Look at my new reels. I was watching the Blue Angels from our lake this afternoon. It's so hot out there, though. I had Riley with me. She's just like dying. Like, can we just go in? I could care less about the airplanes. Yeah, because the air show was at about, well, you know where the airport was. It was right by where you washed your car that one time.
Yeah.
We're at Cyberg's. We went there.
I remember that.
Right behind there. Yeah.
Like the Galaxy Theater is close by.
Yeah, it was right. Yeah, a lot of people park in that parking lot and watch because that way you're not like trapped in there.
Oh, yeah, I see it. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, that was just from our lake, but they were flying over our house yesterday. An F-35 flew over low and fast, and it shook our house. It scared us. I thought it was crashed into our house. Pam almost jumped off the deck. She's like, "Is it supposed to be that loud?" I'm like, "Yeah, I think so."
Oh, wow. That seems like it's really close.
Yeah, they're pretty cool. Blue Angels are awesome. Dude, I saw them at Epcot. Remember in 20? I looked it up in 2019. They flew over Spaceship Earth.
Yep, I remember that.
I was standing next to
Lorenzo.
Yeah, I was next to Lorenzo, and I was next to the PAO for the Blue Angels because he had the CB, and they're like I-4. They were calling where they were, and they're like parking lot. And when they said parking lot, they're already past you.
Yeah,
they're giving because I was next to the guy in the flight suit was, I guess, the public affairs guy, and then next to him was like their official photographers because they were trying to get the pictures, with Spaceship Earth in the background.
Nice.
Just trying to give them like landmarks where they were.
Wait, he cracks me up. Talk to me, Goose.
Yes, talk to me, Goose. It's no good. It's no good. if like a half hour into the show we just go, it's no good. It's no good. Yeah. We bug out.
I need listeners to like. I can book my summer Walt Disney World trip. ADRs on Tuesday. I need some ideas. I need some suggestions. Yeah. I'm gonna go with whatever the majority is in this chat room tonight. Yeah, I'm gonna book that as a meal.
Restaurantosaurus.
I'm there. I'll do it if I can get it. Like, I don't think that place is ever has available. Right, have you ever seen it? Like, have you ever been there either?
Yeah. It's not. It's a counter service, right?
Oh no, I was thinking of. Yeah. I was thinking of T-Rex. I was thinking of.
No, I've never been to T-Rex. I've been in there. It's pretty cool looking, but I've never eaten there. I went there like at a media event. We just toured it. It was cool looking, but
I've never been to Restaurantosaurus either.
All right, let's do this. Here we go. Hang on. Let me stop that. Talk to me, Goose. That's so funny. Now I'm gonna be cracking up the entire time. Okay, hang on. Wait, are we live? Yeah, we are. Okay, hang on. It's like I've never done this. Okay, let me hit this button. Too many buttons. It's a good thing I'm not flying an airplane because I'd be like, what button next? Okay, here we go. Wait.
You wouldn't be talking to Goose anymore if you're flying an airplane.
I wouldn't. I'd be the Rio, definitely not the pilot. He's coming around. He's coming around. He's gonna get on our tail. Okay, here we go. And it's gonna be quoting Top Gun. And I haven't seen Maverick yet. I've been trying to get to it forever, and we just can't find the time. Oh my God, I want to see that movie so bad, especially now that I was watching Blue Angels. I'm like, oh, gotta see it. Okay, here we go. Oh my gosh, Ashley's at Port Canaveral on Royal Caribbean.
I want to be at Port Canaveral.
What ship? Is it Freedom? Freedom's my ship on Royal Caribbean. Freedom. Okay, here we go. Well, hey, everybody. Welcome to the BOGP Open Line. It is Sunday night, June 12th, 2022, and we are here to take your calls for the next hour. That's right. It is you, me, and Scotty G. We love talking to you and turning the show over to you once a week and seeing what's on your mind. We got a lot to talk about tonight. We have some upcoming trips to prep for, and Scott's going to turn over some ADRs to you, which is pretty exciting. And I think we're going to be talking Rainforest Cafe, but you make the call. And we have Disneyland coming up for both of us here in less than 3 weeks. And I have a couple of topics off the top of the show to see if you can help us out with as well. So let's hop in so we can make the most of the next hour. Also, if you're tuned in here on the feed, happy Thursday to you. So joining me today, My best bud up in the mitten, and I was watching something today about the Sulaks on the
Oh man.
Smithsonian Channel. Got to get up there and see those things with my buddy, your friend and mine. Hashtag Scotty G. What's up, Scott?
Hey, Mike, we got to get you to the Sulaks. I know you would just love that. And I know you always say how your family doesn't like seafood. I think just a basic fish sandwich is not seafood, really, but I know they would stay away from it. But there's a fish restaurant that's like a upper level that's right by the Sulak. So if you sit upstairs, you can actually watch the ships come in while you're having lunch. And it's like the best fish I've ever had. So that's what we have to do. And the girls can just get chicken tenders,
That's what I said,
whatever.
chicken nuggets.
Yeah.
I'm sure every place has
Right.
chicken nuggets. And I get a
Exactly.
fillet of fish. I'll eat anything. I mean, I bet it tastes better up there, as long as it's out of the. I would think the fish probably. I'm just guessing. I'm not from like up where you are, where it's better fish. Our stuff, it's got catfish out of the Missouri River, and who knows what's
So
in
the
those things.
whitefish, they say, like out of Port Huron, Lake Huron, right over there, and actually no, it would be Superior too. I think is where they get a lot of that fish. Is really good. I mean, I can't tell the difference. I just like mentally go into it and like thinking, oh yeah, this is the best fish I've ever had. It's awesome. But no, it's really good. The Sulaks are cool. But I think you saw this earlier. We haven't chatted about it. I was in St. Louis, Michigan for a
You
little bit
were.
this
Yes,
weekend.
you were.
And
You were in the blue and you were proud. I like
yeah,
it.
and it cracks me up, Mike. I had no idea that it's actually called the middle of the midden. That's what they call themselves, which is funny because of you like calling Michigan the midden all the time because of you recently learning that. So
Yeah.
St. Louis, Michigan is the middle of the Lower Peninsula. So I thought that was kind of funny.
Today, so I've talked about this on the podcast, like in passing. I think I've ever talked about it. On Saturday and Sunday mornings, I have a tradition. Like I get up, I run, I do my emails, I get my work done, and then I kind of settle into my easy chair and I watch the show on the Smithsonian Channel. It's called Aerial America, and it's all drone shots. It usually about 3 or 4 episodes in a row. They're an hour long. It's something you would watch at Epcot. It is so peaceful. I always fall asleep when I'm watching it, actually. And it's just drone shots. And today was all about water. The episode was all about different water features around the United States. And so they showed the Sulaks, Great Lakes. And so they were showing a lot of Michigan. Actually, there's a lot of Michigan in this episode. And so I was looking at the state, and you're not actually in the thumb in Lansing. You're kind of at like a tendon.
Oh
I
no,
kind of
yeah, the thumb is Port Austin.
Okay,
Yeah,
so would you consider yourself like a tendon, or what?
yeah,
How do you describe yourselves?
yeah. I don't think I've ever gone that deep before, Mike. But I'm just gonna roll with that. But yeah, we're kind of like near the bottom of the.
I was like,
Yeah.
kind of like it, the Lifeline or something.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
It's
let's
funny.
talk.
So Lansing is the capital city. We kind of call us like mid Michigan. It's kind of like another name we give Lansing because we're like right in the middle, but it's kind of on the lower end. Definitely not in the thumb or any type of finger. We're just like, yeah, the tendon. We'll go with that. I like it.
That'll work. Yeah, I mean, you gotta start a new trend. They'll be on your license plates the next 5 years.
For
So there
sure.
you go.
Yeah.
All right, so let's set the table with some topics. So we have a Disneyland trip coming up, both of us here in less than 3 weeks. I'm excited because I started pulling some stuff together this past weekend. I decided to start deciding how I'm going to get from the airport. And we're flying to Long Beach because I got a steal of a deal on Southwest to fly into Long Beach rather than LAX or John Wayne. And then I was deciding, you know what? I eventually got to get from the airport to Disneyland. So I started looking at transfers. And come to find out, for my family of 3, it was much cheaper to rent a mid-size sedan for an entire week and pay for parking than it was to purchase transfers for 3 people both ways. So we will have a car. So that's exciting because we're going to go to the Dodgers game. We're going to try to go to a beach and just like maybe Santa Monica Piers, something just to, get In-N-Out Burger. We definitely got to do that. So we're going to do some of those things. I have a car at our disposal, but we are getting close. Like it's been kind of like one of those things that's far off. And you've been there a few times. For me, I mean, it's all consuming at this point. Like the suitcases are like on the edge of the storage room. Like my wife won't let me take them out, but I'm so ready. I'm so ready.
Yeah, I mean, I just remember our first trip to Disneyland was for Elizabeth's 30th, and like that's all I thought about for months, Mike. Like, like, oh my God, we're finally gonna go out there. Like, what's ironic, like for this trip, we're almost doing the exact same thing we did for our 30th. We're gonna go to San Diego to start for a little bit, and then go to Disneyland. Yeah. So it's kind of reminiscent of that, but like, man, like I can't imagine how excited you are because like doing the Disney podcast, you've been listening to like Nate and Matt's show over the years. Like you feel like you know so much about Disneyland already that it's going to be so excited for you to actually see it with your own eyes. I'm so excited for you and the girls. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, I just wish that the Wizard of Braz was still there, back in the day. It's the magic shop, but I mean, hey, you can't have it all. You can't have paper fast passes either. So,
but we are getting some things that we thought weren't going to happen, like Pirates of the Caribbean, baby.
I know. Blue Bayou, Main Street Electrical Parade. I mean, it's just I mean, they're really doing it up because they heard we were coming out.
Did
I
you
mean,
see the shake that the the Disney Parks blog posted this weekend?
No, I did not, but tell me
It
about
was
it
like
because
there was like their caption was like cake or ice cream. How about you do both? It was like this ice cream cake shake or whatever. Like it was like a super trendy Instagram thing. Honestly, knowing Disney, it probably doesn't taste very good because like their shakes and cakes could be kind of hit or miss, but it looked awesome. I'll say that
I'll give it a shot.
for sure.
I'll take one for the
You're gonna
team and
eat every
totally try
snack.
it. Yeah, that's exactly. I know. I'm so worried. I mean, it's I'm gonna have to pay extra to fly home because they're gonna be like, hey, dude, you're two
You might be
people.
taking the rental car home.
Exactly. I'm driving over. Anyway, so tonight we're going to set the table. We want to talk to you, though, for the next hour at 407 413 9395. So give us a call here in about 5 minutes. I have a couple topics I want to bring to the table that hopefully you can bring, you can speak with us about tonight because Scott's got one. I've got two. Two that I have, we talked about this on Friday. So we've been prepping for our trips. We talked about things to do to set yourself up for a great trip, like cleaning out your computer bag, getting all your wires wrapped so TSA doesn't think that you're carrying on something that might be a little suspicious. Your bag doesn't get pulled, that slows you down going through TSA, charging your devices the night before, especially if you're the person who's in charge of a bunch of teenagers and they're going to freak out at 9:30 the next morning because they didn't charge their stuff overnight. It's kind of a little prep the night before, get you ready for the next day. Stuff like that. You know, Pam talked about bringing water bottles and snacks if you have connecting flights because you never know when you're going to get meals. We talked about all those things on Friday. But what is your number one Black Diamond tip for prepping for a trip before you leave home to set yourself up for success? So for the good of everybody, please call in with that tip. And a second topic that I have for tonight's show, if you could call in and share with us, I want to hear what is one of the most unique things you've ever seen at a Disney park when you're there that just happened to happen when you were there. And I thought of this today because in St. Louis today, where I live, we had an air show. It's called the Spirit of St. Louis Airport. It's an executive airport about 4 miles from our house. It's not very big. It's kind of where like the St. Louis executives fly in and out. It's not where Southwest or any of the commercial flights go in and out of. It's the private jets. But every few years they have this big St. Louis Spirit air show for like charity. And they bring in, F-35s. They brought in the U.S. Navy Blue Angels this weekend. And so of course, these planes come in like on Thursday and they do their practice runs Thursday, Friday. Then the air show was Saturday, Sunday. And we're only 4 miles from the airport. It's been just buzzing our house for the last 4 days. And I'm an aviation guy. Like I loved it. The F-35 came over yesterday. And I mean, it shook our house. I was like, oh my gosh, I hope he's not going to hit our house. And whoo, he went right over. It was like just so cool. So, I was watching this. I was watching the Blue Angels this afternoon from our little lake right in our backyard. And it got me to thinking about the time. It was in May of 2019. I was just down for cheerleading. I just happened to be there. It was the Summit Cheerleading Championships. I went to Epcot that morning, and there were rumors I'd been hearing the buzz. The Blue Angels are going to fly over Epcot for like a publicity stunt, a publicity shot. They wanted to do, a picture of the Blue Angels doing their, where they star out right over the top of Spaceship Earth. And that was, in fact, the case. And I'll have to post that picture here at the end of the show. But I was there with Mark Lorenzo from the Disney Moms panel back then, or the Disney Planning panel, whatever they're called now. But it was so cool to be able to see, because I love the Blue Angels. I love Disney. And to see those two things come together, it was one of those things like it was weird that happened when I was there. So if you had anything like that happen where you were there, you saw a celebrity, something like really strange, two worlds came together at Walt Disney World, and you were really shocked. Like one time I saw Lucky the dinosaur at Animal Kingdom, like just happened to be there. That sucker was walking around and it looked like a real dinosaur.
Right.
Too. That's the second thing I was thinking of. Like, I think
mine also involves Epcot and Spaceship Earth.
Okay.
Yeah.
So hit yours real quick. So give us something so we can set the table.
Yeah.
Then we'll talk about your thing you want help with, and then we're opening the phones the rest of the hour.
I mean, there's so many things like I can think of, that kind of jump out to you, especially like around Star Wars weekend. You see a lot of cool things, a lot of cool celebrities. I mean, a lot of that's planned, obviously. But one thing for me was the Monstrous Summer promo or whatever. So we're leaving Epcot. I had a late dinner in Japan, made a long stroll through World Showcase out the door. And there's a bunch of people kind of like standing around at the entrance. And we're like, well, let's just hang out here for a minute, like, so maybe something's about to happen. And
so it's a good thing. You see people standing around, you got to find out why.
Exactly.
Like, okay,
and you can see like them interviewing like the Disney Parks blog, like they were doing something,
Yeah. You totally was there.
So then all of a sudden, boom, like they project like the Monsters Inc. like Sully comes on the screen. He's like, "Rah! This is gonna be the monstrous summer yet," or whatever. So they did this cool like thing where like I mean, they've only done this once, right? Where they projected the Monsters Inc. characters. They did like this little back and forth thing on Spaceship Earth to announce the new promo. It was awesome. Obviously, that probably led to some future enhancements because we know like Spaceship Earth can do a lot of awesome things with projections now. But that was just really cool to see. Like our jaw just kind of dropped. I think it was like in 2014 or something too. Like it was a while ago, and it was just super cool to see that everyone's just like going crazy. Like, oh my god, like look at Spaceship Earth. It's a monster from Monsters Inc. It was awesome.
So you were actually seeing the future of what everything like we're living in that future at this point where it was the mapped, the digitally mapped projection.
I just wish I would have taken better photos, Mike. Like I'm trying to get out the Nikon camera and like I wasn't really good at like dark photos yet with it, and like Elizabeth's like shirt is like all sideways, and I'm trying to take these photos. They're like some of the worst photos I've ever taken, but I still love them though.
But it was hard to have an iPhone 13 back in 2014.
It really was.
It didn't have the technology. All right, so you have your Walt Disney World trip coming up. I mean, you are rolling in it, man. You're getting ready to go to Disneyland. You're going to Walt Disney World here in probably about 70 days.
It's just because of how Emily, like we don't like to pull her out of school anymore, so we're trying to take advantage of summer trips. Is kind of what it is, But yeah, so our 60-day window for doing ADRs is coming up really soon here. So I just kind of wanted to throw it out there. Like, I want to hear the majority rules. Like, where should the gardeners have dinner or lunch sometime on our trip? And I'm going to book it, or at least try to book it. If it's like a sci-fi, which might be hard to get, but I'm going to do my best.
You should do sci-fi because I've been dying to go there.
There's that new menu now too. They have new menu options.
I know. I saw they have a chicken salad sandwich now added to Woody's lunchbox. I mean, not that it's a ADR or anything, but I am a sucker for a good chicken salad sandwich. I love, especially in the summer. There's nothing better because it's hot and it's like a light oh man.
Mike, did you see Katie's comment though? Like Dick Donato from Big Brother, she saw at Walt Disney World. That's pretty awesome.
Well, because he lives in Orlando, and he is a huge Epcot fan. Because I follow him on social media. And he's there all the time.
Yeah.
Like at least he used to be prior to COVID and the theme park reservations. I mean, he was at Epcot all the time.
That's awesome.
I mean, I don't always see him over there. So
and Big Brother premieres when we're at Disneyland. I don't know if I'm sure you know that because you're a Big Brother guy. So
right. And it always premieres on my vacations because we're always either on a cruise or because we always go to Walt Disney World basically the same week every year. And so but that's one of the things Pam wanted to see the Big Brother house, like wanted to drive by.
Oh yeah.
And so here's the thing though, like right now we will be there during the season, so I may pack a bullhorn and just yell over the fence and yell, Paul's gonna be on the season, he's coming back, and just like shut down the whole production.
And then they're gonna shut you down.
Yeah, I've added to my list pack bullhorn. Yeah. So I can be the wall yeller. Anyway, if you're a Big Brother fan, you get it. If you're not, you have no idea what I'm talking about. All right, 407-413-9395. 407-413-9395. Give us a call. Book Scott's ADRs. What's a sleeper? We got Wine Bar George in the chat. That's a good one. You've been there. I haven't, right?
Yep, I've been there a few times. Yep.
Biscuits and gravy, I heard they have on the menu. That's all I got to hear.
Yeah, right. Like that's another thing too. Like with Disney Springs, Mike, and I know you fall into this category too. You're as guilty as I am. Like you find your favorites. Like like Bow House is like one of my all-time favorite restaurants, and I love the homecoming brunch. And I just bounce it back and forth between those two. Like I don't give others a chance. I need to try something new at Disney Springs.
Would you ever do a trip where you don't repeat?
All new restaurants?
Like all new restaurants. It would be hard for you because you've done so many restaurants. But
it could be hard, but that could be fun though.
It would be fun. But would you have regrets though? You know what I'm saying? Like that's kind of a good question for our listeners if they want to call in and have that discussion too, is like, could you do that? Because the thing is, while that's exciting, you're right, it would be fun to do all new reservations. Like if I went all the way to Walt Disney World, traveled 1,000 miles, bought all these plane tickets and did not have buttermilk chicken, like Troy's talking about, he had for the first time just this past week down to Olivia's. Like, is it actually a trip if I don't have Olivia's buttermilk chicken? I don't know. Even no matter how good the other restaurants were.
Yeah, I don't think it is. Unless if it's
so what is it for you? Like for me, it is the buttermilk chicken at Olivia's. Like, what is it for you? Like, if you don't have this meal, it just doesn't feel right.
Well, unfortunately, the restaurant's under refurbish right now, so I'm not gonna have it next time. But it's the Narcoossee's. Like that's been like my go-to like consistent spot these days, outside of Olivia's, of course. Um, so I just love getting like the filet there is like one of my all-time favorites. I love the cocktails there. Just Narcoossee's is one of my favorite spots to be. And I'm nervous, Mike. I'm a little nervous for Narcoossee's because I'm not the biggest fan of like the prefix meal like California Grill. While it was good, like I just kind of want to get a menu, Mike, and sometimes order what I want. You know what I mean? And just like
Do you
have
think
the.
that's the future of these kind of restaurants, though? I mean, is
That's
it
what I'm
because,
wondering. Yeah.
because I mean, I think though, I feel you though, because I feel your pain because if you like look at the logical like where this is headed, like okay, here's where we are, here's where the logical conclusion could go. It's probably less labor intensive to do a prefix menu because like you have it's almost like the theme park reservations, right?
Right.
It's more predictable and more predictability is better for like a strained
For planning,
labor
it's easy
force.
for planning. Yep.
Exactly where we are right now. It's not
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
I know. I know.
I
It's I
know.
hear you.
And it's fine if they want to have that, but I think like I would like to see more options then. Like, I mean, Chefs de France has been doing that for years, right? Like, I know you've been there a few times with us, like over 4th of July. Like, I always get the prefix there because it's always like, all right, I'm going to get the salmon or chicken, I'm going to get the soup, and then I get this dessert every single time. Like, but like the menu like sets it up to be that way. You can order off menu there, but then you think like, well, shoot, just for like $5 more, I can get an appetizer and a dessert. Like, why don't I do that?
Right.
I mean, so
Right.
I mean, it's good, but like, I just worry like I don't want every single restaurant doing that.
I know. I know. Especially, yeah, I know. I hear you.
It's tough. I know.
It is tough because it's one of those things like the thing is like if they can do a prefix menu and it sells out or it's very full capacity all the time.
Yeah.
Again, you look at this like what's the incentive for Disney to make any changes on that? Because if there's no more seats to sell and you're selling it prefix where it's easier at probably the price point they're excited for, like they're winning on three different levels.
Yeah.
And, I don't know.
I will say though, the California Grill one is pretty sweet because I actually happen to have it here. It like opens up. It's like this cool like invitation. Like, and the next award goes to Mike Rahman from the BRS podcast.
Woo!
Congratulations,
yes,
Mike.
podcast of the 2000s. Thank you very much. No, okay. So again, 407-413-9395, 407-413-9395. Give us a call. We have topics on the table. And go into the chat room, though. Troy does say, hey, Mike and Scott, just back from a weekend in Orlando. Went to Old Key West and tried Olivia's for the first time. Tried the buttermilk chicken based on your review, and it was awesome.
Whew. It makes you nervous sometimes because we talk that thing up like no other.
We do. And Troy's from Florida. So, I don't think that here's the thing. It's like, I think it tastes better to me just because of the background music makes it taste. I know that sounds so weird.
No,
but
it's not. It's not weird to me.
Like it's the atmosphere adds 50% more juice into the chicken.
Just
saying.
I'll just never forget like the first time I had it. I just like we all looked at each other like, oh my gosh, like this is one of the best things I've ever had at Disney. Like why have we been coming here? And then I kind of got bummed once because I saw like a very popular like YouTube vlogger like just like drive into town, go to Olivia's and drive back to his house just to have the chicken. I'm like, no, don't put that out there, like
knock that off. Yeah, seriously. I mean, we talk about it, but it's just like it's like you and me and the one person who's listening to us right now in their AirPods.
You know what I would like to try though, is to turn that into a sandwich or like a biscuit sandwich or something, like.
Oh yeah. Oh, two like buttermilk biscuits,
like smaller biscuits. Yeah.
Well, because it's served with a biscuit.
Yeah. I mean, we could probably kind of make that our own, but like I think that would be so good.
Because at first I was thinking like a sweet Hawaiian roll.
Oh yeah,
but I think a biscuit would be better.
I think the biscuit would be good. I guess we could just ask for more biscuits and kind of cut it ourselves and make it a sandwich.
I'm thinking this is the future.
Yeah,
I'm thinking we just solved all the world's problems right there with that biscuit.
I think for Father's Day we're just gonna go down to Florida just for that.
I'll be like, hold the green beans, biscuit sandwich, please, and a little taters.
Yeah.
Okay, so back to the topic, though, of the craziest things we've seen at Walt Disney World while we're there. In the chat, Ashley says she saw Hulk Hogan in the late 90s. Now, as I recall, maybe I'm wrong, but I think Hulk Hogan shot a TV show at the studios, I think in the 90s. I forget the name of it, but did they not shoot a
Maybe.
TV
I
show
know
there?
that's
I
when
think.
he like went like crazy villain with like the NWO or whatever, like they became like these like the nemesis of wrestling. And I think it was around that era too.
I never
But
watched wrestling. I could not get into it. I was always because I
yeah.
was always a psycho baseball. It's why I never watch movies because like if there's a baseball game on, I have to watch it. Like I watch every inning of every game for the Cardinals, so it takes up my entire life.
Yeah, it
April till
would since they play 162.
it's crazy. I
Did I
know.
tell you
I know.
though that I went to a Lugna game and they had the pitch clock? Did I tell you
You were,
about that?
yeah, I saw a tweet about this. So is that it speeds up the game, right?
Dude, so
You
I
said something. You say pitch clock, but I used context to think that you said that it was a pitch clock. You said
oh
something. It
oh
was like a
okay.
pitch counter or something you put.
At
And I was
least I
like, oh
got
my god.
pitch right.
Yes.
But it was very interesting. So I went to an 8-4 game. There were some runs being scored, obviously, and it was like 2 hours, 20 minutes. Like it was really
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, a lot of action
But a
there.
lot
I'll
of
take
pressure
that.
for the pitcher though. Like once it hits the mitt and then the 15-second timer goes and like the pitcher's looking at the clock, like that's pretty intense. Like I gotta
Do
quick
they
hurry up
and the
and throw a
batter
pitch.
has only like 9 seconds, right, to get in the box or something like that, I
Yeah.
heard. They were talking about the game the other day. And
I don't
so,
remember what the batter had. Yeah.
do they use PitchCom? They have to use PitchCom, right?
I what do you mean for pitch? I guess I don't know what pitch com is.
You'll know it's how they're giving the signals now, the pitcher to the catcher. Like they
Oh.
push the thing and then it
No,
just
so
talks.
there's a timer going like on the stadium, like you would see like in the score. Like
No,
there's a
no, I know,
timer.
but
Yeah.
like instead of the catcher giving like finger numbers, now in the big leagues, they have like a little keypad on their knee and they push a
Gotcha.
button for like fast, and then in the pitcher's hat, it just goes fastball, and only the pitcher can hear it.
I think you're making this up because I never
Oh,
heard it.
because I hate it. I hate it. It's like a video game.
Okay, yeah,
I'm
it
always
sounds
tweeting.
awful.
I'm
Yeah.
always tweeting ban PitchCom because it's like the Cardinals were the last team to use it. They were the last team in Major League
Yeah.
Baseball to use it. They finally did because Yachty was not going to use it. But yeah, it's so
Wow,
bad.
I'm
Yeah,
way
this-
behind on that. I must not pay attention to that because
You
I
look at
hate
it.
the idea of that. So that's probably I just
Oh,
like purposely
no.
ignore it. Yeah.
Well, it keeps teams from stealing signals
Yeah,
because you're
which is
not
good.
giving signals,
Yeah.
and you'll just see the pitcher will be out there like this because the thing's in his hat, so you'll see him going like this, but he's not looking at the catcher.
Oh,
That's
that's
like
so
what
weird.
is it? It's like a fly chasing. Anyway, back to Disney. Okay, this is what happens. We're together.
But
Okay,
speaking
so
of like baseball,
Beverly,
like I've seen athletes. I was there the day after the Buccaneers won the Super Bowl, and
Saw Brady?
Gronkowski was there. I didn't actually see Gronk, but dude, I'd never seen so many like plaids walking around or with security. Plus, like there was like private security too, so you could see like there's Disney security, and then there'd be like the football players, like personal security guards. Like it was crazy the day at the Super Bowl.
It would be cool.
It
It's
was
just
cool,
cool
though.
to be down there during those times too, like when sports are happening.
Oh yeah,
Because like if you're ever down there in the fall, okay, if you're ever down there during the fall, you're gonna see a lot of purple and gold because
yes,
LSU fans are everywhere.
they
And,
are.
I mean, I love my LSU friends.
Especially around Mardi Gras. You
They
see them
are.
like 1 in every 2 people are wearing the
Yes,
purple and
they
gold.
are. And they still can't spell go. Anyway, just kidding. I'm just kidding. I know there's 5 letters in go. So yeah, it's so fun. So Beverly says, since nobody's given us a call, 407-413-9395. I'm sure I paid the bill. I paid for a whole year. So give us what happens is everybody calls the last 15 minutes. So let's not play that game today. Call us now so we don't have to do the whole like 5 calls in the last 15 minutes.
I like Beverly's comment though, because we'll have a comment on this too. I know. So
yeah, go ahead. So she says that her husband and son caught a rocket launch after their Disney Cruise Line cruise. That was neat. And yeah, because if you don't know that the Disney, well, they sail out of many ports, but the home port for most of the Disney Cruise Line ships is Port Canaveral, which when you're docked, you can look right over into Kennedy Space Center and you can see the vehicle assembly building where the Saturn V used to be stacked, the space shuttles used to be stacked, and you can see all of the rocket pads.
Yeah. And that just made me think of the cruise ship that we did on the cruise that we did on the Fantasy, where we had 2 celebrities that we knew of because we found them. But one like hung out with us at Margaritaville is the bass player from REO Speedwagon.
Yeah, we didn't even
We have
know
a
that.
selfie of him somewhere with our clocks.
We do.
somewhere.
Do we know for sure that was really the bass player? We think he was the bass
We
player.
think he
I mean, he
is.
was the right age.
Yeah, he was the right age, and I believe he is a big time like Disney fan and like does a lot of Disney cruises. So I mean, it just added up that it was him.
His family told us. I mean, they're like, yeah, this is grandpa, and he
Yeah.
was the bass player
And then
for
we went over
REO
to
Speedwagon.
Dino and confirmed with him.
Yeah, we did. I mean, we did try to check this out, but it was a very long day at Margaritaville in the pool. That if you ever go to Falmouth, Jamaica, that Margaritaville like pool and the bar and the whole like vibe of that place was awesome.
It was
That
fun.
a
It was a
great
lot of
place.
fun. Yeah.
And we were
And you
literally
don't, and even if you don't
100
drink,
feet
like you
from the
just hang
ship.
out in that pool
Yeah.
area was so nice. Yeah.
Yeah, it was super. I mean, literally, like, I mean, if you were a daredevil, which I'm not, but if you're a daredevil, you might have been able to jump from our balcony and hit the pool. Like, I mean,
Yep.
it's probably not deep enough, but it was that close. Like we were backed in, and you could literally just look right down into the pool from our balcony at the ship.
I'm pretty sure Yerkes took a photo of all of us like in the pool from like his stateroom.
Yeah, it totally did.
All
All right, so since we're getting so many calls here, Carolyn says we saw Dick Van Dyke walking through the Grand California Hotel around Christmas. So amazing. Now, okay,
awesome.
you're talking about like Dick Van Dyke at Disneyland. Like if you were to see him, I mean, he's about as close as you can get probably to Walt Disney, or I mean, at this point, I mean,
Yeah.
that's
I
about as
almost put
big
like Dexter
Disney.
Raleigh up there because like Walt Disney, like not Dexter Raleigh. I meant Kurt Douglas, not Kurt Russell. Oh my gosh, I'm all over the place. Because Dexter
You're just
Riley was
making
the
people
character
up.
that Kurt
I was
Russell
like,
played in those
okay,
Medfield
old man.
College movies. Yeah. For some reason, when I see Kurt Russell, I think of Dexter Riley. Which, if anyone has seen those like Medfield College Disney movies, that's the
I have
character.
no
he
idea
plays.
what you're talking about. I just know I'm
Really?
thinking Dexter Fowler. I'm thinking of Dexter
No.
Fowler, who we got screwed
Oh
by.
my
'cause
god, the
he
Medfield
gave up to
College
the
movies are
Cardinals.
so awesome, and they have a reference to it in the imagination, into your imagination. Like you go through, you'll see the computer that wore tennis shoes is in there.
Yeah, I've never seen it.
You have no idea what I'm talking about?
I have no clue. I know that there is a movie called The Computer Wore
Yeah.
Tennis Shoes, but I've never seen it.
Because isn't like the rumor that like his last words were like Walt Disney's last words were like Kurt Russell?
Yes,
think.
I
Yeah.
have heard that. Yeah, I have heard that. Yeah. Like train him. Promise me you will train him.
Yeah.
That was his last word. Or that was Qui-Gon Jinn.
Because he did a whole now we're mixing Star Wars. I do have a question though for you, Mike. So we're talking about me, like, hey, like I want to take some.
It's just us just talking about random stuff. We've talked about PitchCom, we've talked about rocket launches, we've talked about ADRs.
I'm talking about Dexter Raleigh from the Medfield College.
I'm talking about Dexter Fowler. Go ahead.
But so I'm asking for ADR ideas for my August trip. But I want to know what is a meal that you're looking forward to at Disneyland? Not necessarily that you're going to have it, but like just based on what like what's something that you're just really want to put your teeth through, That's a weird way to describe that, but
you know what? It's that place. I don't even know if I'm going to say it right, but it's that little like Mexican place.
The Ranchero,
Ranchero del Zocalo or whatever. Like whatever that place is. Like I am all about that.
Yeah,
I'm comparing it kind of like to a Pecos Bills, maybe like at Disneyland.
You're right. You're spot on. You're spot on with that.
Yeah, that's my vibe.
And then you got to take the outdoor seating and then like watch the Big Thunder trains go by.
Oh yeah.
And they do breakfast there too. So I remember I once had I think I had fajita, like a breakfast fajitas or something where they gave you like the fajitas, but there was like eggs and you could like roll them up in the basically like make your own burrito with the fajitas.
Yeah.
Like it was awesome.
I mean, did I tell you that since we're just talking random topics? Okay, wait. Oh, Wade was calling in, then he hung up. Thanks, Wade. He called. He's like, you got to get me, but I'm going to let the phone ring for 2 seconds. And
psych.
So he'll call me, I'm sure. Yeah, we're getting in our subdivision. We're getting a little like stand that it's imminent opening, and it's gonna have breakfast burritos.
Oh man,
yes. I mean, I can't wait. It's like the size of a couple of Johnny on the Spots.
So what about a treat? Like you're probably gonna want to get a Disneyland churro, right? Or a churro, as you like to call them.
Oh yeah, churros. Yeah, everything. I don't know. Corn. I am a huge corn dog fan.
Yeah,
my Dodger dog at the Dodger game. That's the thing. So
I mean,
anyway, Wade
is eating trip more than anything.
Oh yeah, it is. And of course, now we got all kinds of calls coming in. So Wade has started the avalanche of calls. Brooke, hang tight because you're online too. So
everyone was just tired of us. I mean, people don't. I mean, this is the inside information how our conversations go on the phone.
We don't want to hear about the computer wore tennis shoes. We don't want to hear about Dexter Fowler. He's a has-been. He bled his ACL with the Angels. We're done. Wade is on the phone up in Nebraska. Wade, thanks for saving us. What's going on?
Hey guys, how are you?
You're doing good. What's up?
Oh man, I tried to call it earlier. It rang like 20 times, so I had to hang up. So I don't know if I went into like internet or cell phone purgatory or something.
So that's why there were no phone calls, Mike.
It's Skype. It's just Skype stinks, but what can you do?
Oh god, no, it's good to listen to you guys just kind of chatting away. I'm like, all right, I better try and call in
here. Yeah, we appreciate it. So what's up?
You know what I want to talk about, which we haven't really talked much about this, but with Guardians, Guardians of the Galaxy opening up, but Tron is sitting there in the Magic Kingdom, obviously being worked on. But I saw somewhere that if that doesn't open in a couple of months, it will have taken longer to build than the entire Magic Kingdom when they opened. I don't know if that's true, but that thing's been a lot of construction going on. Of course, there was COVID as well in the middle, but that's a long time. So is that going to open this summer?
I don't think so. I think they're going to hold it back. I was having this conversation with Mallory actually about this. She was asking about Tron, and I said you got to think about it this way because I was trying to explain to her about how things are not always so straightforward in business, especially when it comes to something like Disney. Is that sucker, and we've seen this, right? Like things can be done and just be sitting because if Disney's still riding this wave from Cosmic Rewind and they don't have anything else for like the next 6 months to promote or the new hotness, they're going to ride that wave for as long as they can for Cosmic Rewind. And then as that wave starts to subside a little bit, okay, here's Tron. Like we need this now, but we're going to wait. We're going to keep that ace up our sleeve until we absolutely need it. And then we can ride that for a while, even if it's ready. And she's like, well, why would they do that? I'm like, it's all about marketing and it's all about getting the public's attention because that's what it's all about right now. Scott, do you agree with that? And I have a follow-up question on that because you bring up a good point, Wade, but I have something I want to ask you about that. But Scott, what do you feel?
I think you're kind of spot on. I think what's going to happen because there's D23, I think you're going to get an announcement date at D23 and then they're going to start building up the campaign, maybe it's Memorial Day. Memorial Day always seems to be like the hot time because that's kind of like when summer starts, right? Like that's when Seven Dwarfs Mine Train opened. That's when Guardians just did. I think there's another one. I can't think of it right now. But I feel like we are going to get something because what else is there that they're building? Like what other announcements are going to be at D23? I'm kind of curious about that. There's got to be some fresh new things, I think. But I think they're going to announce Tron then.
Yeah, that I thought about that. I thought, gosh, do they wait until I mean, you got Labor Day coming up, but then do you wait until the holiday season? I mean, obviously they want to start running it before it gets really, really busy. But I mean, they got the railroad, right? That obviously it was a lot of work to where they put that attraction, shoehorned in there by Space Mountain, had to reroute the railroad tracks. Everything they had to do was very major construction and then interrupted by a pandemic. So it wasn't just empty land where they had to build it. Yeah. So I thought about that, the marketing aspect of it too. When do you open that? Summer's obviously a busy time. It's exciting. Fall, there's not been a downtime for a little bit here at Disney. That'll probably continue for a bit here, but I don't know. It's an interesting thing to think about.
I know that's the thing. Do they need to open it? Because they're getting so many guests? Mike, you see this on the travel agency side.
Yeah. So 2023 bookings opened up this past Wednesday, right? And demand it's crazy. I mean, people are talking about this thing called revenge travel. And I think it is, it's kind of a dumb term, right? But what it is, it's just that people have, if some people have been uncomfortable with travel, some people have had to just have circumstances where they have skipped vacations for a year, maybe 18 months. And now's the time that they want to get something on the books, whether they're going to travel or not. They're going to wait and see the circumstances, but they're just ready to travel. They want to get something planned. So it is, the business has been brisk over the past, 4 or 5 days since those bookings opened up. So I don't think Disney's hurting for this. If I had to guess when they're going to open this, it would probably be in January. because that would be like a new year. They could start it, fresh, and that would give them something to get them from January into the summer season, right? Because it would give people a reason to go to Florida. I mean, not that you need a reason, but it would give you a reason to like pull the kids out of school, maybe, if it's like teeter-tottering on like, okay, we're going to wait till spring break. People might come down in January, February. I mean, they've been testing the cars, over the past couple of, I guess, like a month or so. They've been doing some testing. And here's my follow-up though. Once this opens, because I saw somebody, actually one of our listeners emailed this and wanted us to pose this on a live call-in show. When this opens, if you had to hypothesize though, because now you have the battle of the new coasters, you have Cosmic Rewind, and you're going to have this Tron coaster. Which one is going to be the more, overall great experience in your opinion? Because obviously nobody's done Tron unless you've been overseas. But I mean, Cosmic Rewind is, getting great reviews. I loved it. It was so much fun. Scott, you were on it. You had a good time.
Oh yeah, I loved it.
But I mean, Tron is very unique too. These are very unique experiences. So, I mean, how do you feel about that, Wade? I mean, they're going to have two super things. Like, which one do you think, like in 5 years, do you think will come out on top?
Well, that's a good question. I obviously have not been, haven't experienced Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind yet. I will hopefully, and knock on wood, in August. But Tron obviously has been very successful. I mean, it's interesting that attraction, based on a movie from when was the movie Tron? 19 whenever it was, a long time ago.
Well, does that prove the 80s were the best decade ever? I mean, we got Cosmic Rewind, 80s music, and then Tron is based on an 80s movie. I mean, seriously, there's been anything good since the 80s.
Yeah, I think it was right, exactly, 86. And of course, Top Gun was 86, exactly. And here we are with Top Gun again.
Talk to me, Goose.
In 2022. So that's right, talk to me, Goose. Exactly. Do some of that pilot stuff. Anyway,
thank you for making me not have to edit this show.
That's right, exactly. Hey, I get it. I don't know. I mean, it's a great question. Obviously, Tron's been very successful overseas, and it's in Magic Kingdom. I think the nice thing is it gives everybody just another option. Disperses the crowds, another thrill ride at a Disney park, which is great. In the Magic Kingdom, it's going to be, I love the Magic Kingdom attractions. Big Thunder's great. Space Mountain's great. It'll be another one there. And Epcot's got Guardians. Of course, you've got Everest at Animal Kingdom. And then, Hollywood Studios has thrill rides. So it does balance it maybe a little bit more with a little bit more intense thrill rides, which is nice. So it'll be a great question to see, 3, 4, 5 years down the road here.
It is
see
interesting.
Which has more staying power.
Right. But it's interesting what Scott said is like, what, because I mean, Tron it's getting finished, but what's
next?
What's next? I mean, Universal's got a whole theme park that's all, halfway done. And like, what's next?
That'll be interesting to see what they do announce at the D23, because I almost looked at it this way. God, are we going to get to the point where there's not going to be something, under construction? Obviously, Epcot still has a little ways to go.
The water feature they're building, which is awesome, but yeah.
Right, exactly. And so it will be nice as a guest to go down and not have to dodge a construction wall. And the only thing that may be closed down is something being refurbed, which, you have to do that. So maybe that'll be nice. But yeah, what is next? That's a good question. It'll be interesting. Universal is not going to stop, and I would assume Disney's not going to stop. But what is that, and where is it? So yeah, it'll be exciting.
I guess if you had to pick, okay, Epcot's gotten tons of love, which it needed because it sat, it was very much the neglected park for at least a decade. Yeah. Magic Kingdom's got Tron. The studios obviously has had tons with Galaxy's Edge, Toy Story Land, 2 new lands over the past 5 years. So I guess it's Animal Kingdom next. I mean, they have
Typhoon Lagoon.
Yeah, Blizzard Beach. They're getting something. They got a crane. Who knows?
Yeah, that's true. So
it'll be interesting.
Yeah, anyway, well, it'll be.
I would like to see a resort. I would love to see a new resort. Like I just got Riviera, but it was already kind of there because of Caribbean Beach. Like I would just love to see a new footprint on a resort. That would be so awesome to me.
Do you think though that would get as much attention a resort as like say an an e-ticket attraction?
Probably not, because not everyone stays on Walt Disney World property, right?
Probably make more revenue though.
Well, I'm just thinking from like the bookings, right, Mike? Like
it'd be a DVC resort.
It would be a
though,
DVC resort.
It would
Yeah.
totally be DVC because that's where they invest all their money. Yeah, you're right. It's an interesting question. Yeah,
your question about like Guardians or Tron, like I almost think, I mean, it's fresh in our minds, but I almost think like Guardians would still be more popular because they're still doing like Guardians movies, unless they want to start doing something awesome with Tron. Like maybe they do like a Disney Plus series, which I just thought of that, and that would actually be awesome if they made like a Disney Plus series on Tron. But I feel like they got to do something to bring it more like attention, other than like, hey, we got this new attraction for this old movie, you know?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. That's a good point though, with the Guardians, you know, obviously with Marvel, Marvel universe, with all the Marvel movies, Guardians does have the 80s music, of course, but more of a contemporary, base, I guess.
Yeah.
So that's true. Little kids, I mean, kids are going to know what that is, right?
Yeah,
they know
true.
Groot, they know Star-Lord, they know all the Marvel characters. And if you ask a little kid right now, hey, what about Tron? You know, what?
Yeah,
So,
seriously, one of the best video games in the 80s. Did you ever go to Aladdin's Castle? Seriously, kid. Scott, you probably never even went to an Aladdin's Castle.
No, I've never been to Aladdin's Castle.
Look at you.
Right next to Music Land. Next to Music Land. We pick up a 45.
Yes, it was next at our mall. It was next to Buster Brown. It was next to the shoe store. That's so funny. Oh man. Well, Wade, thanks for saving us, man. Funny. It's so good to talk to you, and hopefully we'll see you here soon.
All right, sounds good, guys. Take care.
Take care. Good talking to you. All right, bye. It's a good question though with the what's next, because who knows?
And it's going to be. I mean, I know no one wants to hear this, but it's going to be IP related. You know, because that's what's hot right now. Like, as much as all of us would love to see them come up with like an Expedition Everest or a Haunted Mansion type attraction, I don't think it's ever going to happen again.
Even if it did, and you're right. I mean, I think everything at this point will always be IP, like existing IP, but I would even be fine with, if it weren't IP, it would go backwards. Like, they would make something and then probably
make a movie out of it, like Pirates. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, exactly. We would just go in the opposite direction, which, full circle kind of thing. So, anyway, that's interesting. Okay, 407-413-9395. 407-413-9395. I saw Brooke from Pennsylvania was calling in here a second ago. So if you want to give us a call.
I guess it could be Animal Kingdom could be next, because like when did Pandora's like 5 years ago, right?
Oh my God, Pandora's probably 10 years ago at this point, isn't it?
When they announced it, maybe.
20, I bet it was like 2016
or 17, 14? Right?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, but that was still, if it was 16, that's still 6-7 years ago.
That's crazy.
That's great. Time's going so fast. All right, we have our next call. It is Brooke from Pennsylvania. Brooke, thanks for calling in. What's going on?
Hi, guys. How are you?
Doing great. Good. Thanks for calling in. Say hey to Scott.
Hey, Brooke.
Hi, Scott. I just wanted to say that I have never been to Yak and Yeti, and that is something I'm looking forward to on my next trip, because I've always wanted to go. I've never seen Animal Kingdom like at night. I would love to have dinner there and then like be able to walk through Pandora at night. That's just me. I'm really looking forward to my next trip.
I did that exact thing on our spring break trip. We park hopped over like late at night, just basically for dinner. We did a safari ride, and then we went to Yak and Yeti, basically closed it down. Yeah, then we walked through the park at night and with like hardly anyone around us, and it was one of my favorite Animal Kingdom experiences. That's awesome.
Yeah, I have to do that. We always go super early, and then it's so hot that we leave to swim and we just never come back.
Yeah. Seriously, that is a story of my Animal Kingdom life right there. Because it's like you have all the greatest plans, but that park is, if you're there anytime it's not the winter time, it's just
and it's awesome. The park hop too. You never think, like, you always start your day there, right? You never park hop to Animal Kingdom. It seems like it's cool to do.
No, we don't.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever hopped
things
there.
shut down in the evening.
Yep,
that's true.
Sorry, there's a delay on my end all the time. I always feel like I'm talking over you guys.
Oh no, it's us. It's us. But yeah, I will say Yak and Yeti has excellent. That's my type of food anyway. But excellent food, and the atmosphere in there is super cool. Like, I know it's not the fanciest place in the world, but it is my vibe. I love that restaurant. And the thing is, I always forget to make an ADR there. It's so good. Oh my gosh, I wish I was.
It's so hard to. It seems really hard to get. That's the other thing. Like, does anyone have success getting it? Scott, how did you get a dinner reservation?
I got lucky.
I feel like it was early. I mean, because it closes early, I feel like there's like 3 hours of dinner service or something. I just never have luck. I can never get it. And I'm like, 6 a.m. I'm on there. I'm trying my best. I never get it.
Yeah, Brooke, you're spot on, and I remember exactly how we get it. It's like it's the advice that I never want to give on the show, even though I know all of us have. But it's
Okay,
it's
I'll DM you.
no, I'll say it because it's been said so many times on here. It's the 9 o'clock at night, the night before you're in your resort. You just cleaned up, you're done with the night. Like, hey, let's see what ADRs are available for tomorrow, and then boom, Yak and Yeti was there.
Okay, that's good to know to keep checking.
Yeah, I've learned that tip from Scott. Yeah, I've learned a tip from Scott many times. Like now, I never used to look for last minute ADRs, but like I'll look. In the morning, I'll look for dinner that day. And like just like where you're standing in line for a ride is, and like, oh my gosh, 50s prime time popped up. I couldn't find that for 2 months.
I used to always think it was people canceling. But now I think it's just maybe they know, like, hey, our staff's going to be better tomorrow or whatever. Let's open up more slots. Like, I don't know. Like, that's kind of my theory now because, like, you don't see anything forever. Then a bunch pop up.
I think that the 60-day, because you're booking so far out, people just book more than they have to. I mean, and people cancel. I think that's really what it is.
Do you think a lot of people do? Because I've never done that, but I guess people do.
I think, and also, you go frequently.
That's true.
I think if you're going in frequently, you're worried you're not going to have enough reservations. You hear about it being like a big thing. So you book like lunch and dinner every day of your trip. And then you get there, you're like, I can't spend every day eating lunch and dinner at a sit-down restaurant. I'll never get to ride all those rides that I'm here to do once every 3 years.
Yeah.
So you cancel them and you like do one a day or something. I mean, I never recommend to like new people that they do more than one reservation a day because if you're there to ride rides, how do you fit it in?
That's a good point. Yeah, I mean, you go there to have the experience. I mean, you want it's the balancing act, right? You don't want to spend all your time eating, but I mean, dining is a part of the overall Walt Disney World experience. But I see what you're saying, though. I see it from your side too there, that if you book a lot of ADRs, what you're doing is it's an insurance policy up until the point where you got to cancel them 24 hours out. Like, okay, we have lots of options at our disposal that are locked in. And now we can decide, okay, what are we going to keep? What are we going to throw away? It's kind of like, playing rummy or something like this.
But Disney is good at locking that down where like, I can't book multiple 5 o'clock reservations because it looks at that time window. I'm glad they do that, or else I feel like you're right, Brooke. I think so many people would book like 6 restaurants at 5 o'clock and then decide the night before.
Yep. And real quick, Brooke, Aaron's pointing out, and I forgot about this, is something you can do with certain restaurants, and Yak and Yeti is one. It's owned by Landry's Restaurant Group, that you can get that Landry's card, and I think you can call the restaurant directly to get reservations. I'm trying to think. There's like 5 or 6 restaurants at Walt Disney World that are owned by Landry's. There's some at Disney Springs too. I can't remember all of them, but yeah, and you get a discount, I believe, too, with like the card. If you buy the card, I want to say you get the value of the card back with your first meal. So it's not like it's cost you anything in the end. Because it's called Landry's card.
I just need to have someone go with me so I can share those tuna nachos with somebody because my daughter won't eat it. And that tuna nacho thing looks so big.
So what time we're gonna be there? I'll be there because I love tuna, love nachos. I'll meet you there.
And then real quickly before I go, what about this craziness with I don't know much about the executive life at Disney, but like they fired someone who was rumored to be like a possible replacement for Chapek, and he just sat him down in 7 minutes and fired him. That happened this week.
Yeah, I'm thinking about firing Ricky if she gets a little too comfortable on the show. Just if all of a sudden she's not.
That's why I've been showing up a lot lately.
Yeah,
actually, it's
you
been
noticed
like an
that
audition.
Scott's been here lately. He's in the Ricky spot. No, just kidding. I don't follow the executives. I have this philosophy, right? And I mean, this is what I do for a living, right? I book Disney travel, so I'm in at a high level. This is my living, but I can't pretend to be smart enough to understand what goes on at that kind of a like C-suite level at Disney. I have opinions, but it's almost like fantasy sports at a level that I have a hard enough time understanding baseball, and I grew up with the game, trying to understand like the moves and all the front office stuff. I can't understand. Scott, I mean, do you follow that kind of stuff? Because I don't know. I know that the thing is Chapek is he's pleasing the shareholders, and the shareholders are number one who's going to make the decisions. And that's the bottom line. I mean, everybody else is down the chain, and that's just how the world works right now. You got to remember, they're not worried about everybody. It's shareholders and then everybody else, and shareholders are happy, and they're going to give him the power, and he's going to do what he wants. That's what I think. I don't know, Scott, what do you think?
I mean, just a small take on me. It's just corporate business. I know even at my company, I won't say where they are, but like there's executive leadership change-ups all the time. Like, like if one person gets promoted, that might hurt them to get an opportunity down the line. Like they might have to wait like 3 or 4 years then. So they just move on to another company to find that opportunity. That's their career goal. You see, I feel like there's a lot of executive shakeups like just in the world. So I mean, I didn't think anything much of it.
Yeah. I just don't know.
It's something that happened this week. So.
Yeah, I mean, I saw it too, and I mean, it's like, well, this guy's getting a little comfort. He might come for me. So, I've never. I was a school teacher for 17 years. All I did was go into my classroom, teach my lessons, and go home every day. Everybody's like, "You want to be a principal?" I'm like, "Not really. I just want to teach my kids."
Yeah.
Go home. I don't want that kind of responsibility. I know what principals have to deal with, and you don't make that much more money, it's way more than I want to have to deal with. And, I see like these executives, and I don't pretend to know, everything that's going on at that kind of level, but I do know that, that it's a business, it's a for-profit business. And if it's making more and more money, the shareholders are happy, and they're going to try to hold on to that person who's making more and more money as long as they can, no matter what. That's what they want, which is not, it doesn't please me, because how many times have I said I still haven't bought Genie Plus, and it's a principal thing. I'm buying it at Disneyland because I want to try it out. And I mean, I'm not going to ever put myself at a disadvantage. I don't want to wait in a longer line, but I'm also willing to try to ride out things and be creative. I'm just kind of cheap. Like I just want to save my money. I want to be as frugal as I can. I don't want to spend it where I don't need to.
Yeah, I think it makes sense for your first trip out there to try to get everything in you can.
Oh yeah, I was like, just give it all. I was like, 5-day Hopper Genie Plus. What else can I get? Just put it all in the cart.
Oh, you're like Disneyland Hotel.
Yes.
You got it all. You have to do the full package.
Yeah, then he suckered me into doing the same thing.
I was like, put the blindfold on. Let me hit the checkout button. I can't believe I'm doing this.
Please.
Ah.
God, I can't imagine you didn't encourage him a little bit, Scott.
He kept saying, when you go out there, I'm going with you. So I'm glad he is. This is going to be even more fun this way.
Yeah.
It's going to be a blast. Okay. I mean, just wait.
All right.
We're going to have some great videos on Instagram. So it'll be fun. All right. Well, Brooke, hey, you have a good weekend. Thanks for calling in. We appreciate you very much.
Have a good night.
All right. You too. Talk to you soon. All right. 407-413-9395. 407-413-9395. Might be able to sneak in one more call. We might not, but we're just kidding, Bev. We're not getting rid of Ricky. She's fine. She's going to be on the shows. And I'm just playing because she's like my little kid sister. So that's how we do that. Let's see. So it's been a fun show though tonight. It's got lots of topics. I mean, we didn't get many ADRs. We got I saw in the chat the Topolino's Terrace.
That's my jam.
It is.
I love that place.
We have one more call. So let's get our last call. We also had a Morimoto's. Have you ever eaten there?
I've never have. I think Marlessa put that in there. I've never been there.
Go there. It's good. I mean, I went there on a media thing, but it was better because it was free. All right, Vero Mike's calling in. Vero Mike, you're the last call of the day. How's it going?
Oh, awesome. What's going on, guys? How you doing tonight?
We are doing great. Thanks for calling in. Say hi to Scott.
Hey Mike.
Scott, how you doing, buddy?
Good. How are you doing?
Doing great. Calling from super hot Florida right now.
Dude, I feel you. The heat index here was 106 when we started the show.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I just wanted to touch base on the topic of what's next in Walt Disney World after Tron opens up, and I was thinking next year with Indiana Jones opening up in the theaters, maybe Dinosaur is going to be rethemed to the Indiana Jones ride, the one that's out in Disneyland, since it's the same track, and maybe we'll be getting a new land for Indiana Jones.
I love that idea. Because it ties into our Animal Kingdom is next in the rotation. I like it.
True.
Absolutely.
And think about that area too. Like there's a lot of, I think you said it actually in the chat. It was you that said, like there's a lot of empty space back there where they took out Primeval Whirl. And Dino Land is hurting right now at Animal Kingdom. Like it could use some love and just make it into Indiana Jones Land.
Yeah. It's the same exact track as Disneyland. So it kind of just makes sense.
Yeah, so my wife is retired from Dinosaur because she hates it, but she loves Indiana Jones at Disneyland. So that would bring her back in, you know, like, and I think a lot of people would agree with that. But then I think you could even expand it more than just like the attraction, like Mike's saying, like kind of like in the whole like Chester and Hester area, maybe like kind of like have it, you know, expand out there possibly. I like it.
Absolutely. Put a couple of new Indiana Jones attractions, a restaurant, you know, maybe a hotel.
Oh, no.
You know.
Easy, Vero Mike. Easy now. Easy. We're just trying to get a retheme here. You're going for a hotel and a whole land. Oh, my God. You're hurting us here, man. You're getting me too excited. I can't take all this excitement on the last call of the night.
I mean, think about it. Indiana Jones is almost as big as Star Wars from the 80s. So,
again, we're hitting our theme, right? I mean, okay, so the greatest decade in the history of time was the 1980s. I mean,
I was born in the 80s, so it makes sense. Like the great, I came out of the 80s, so of course it's great.
And I grew up in the 80s. I mean, exactly. I mean, everything's got to come from the 80s.
Absolutely.
So what would Triceratops spin? Like, what would that theme into? I'm trying to figure out how we can make a spinner ride for Indiana Jones. You know, that'd be kind of fun. I want to put my.
Sure.
Yeah. I don't know what you could do with that.
And one more thing, maybe you know, that hotel in front of Epcot, Future World Hotel. I don't know if they still have that in the plans or not, but that would be really cool.
Oh my gosh, I haven't heard anyone mention that in a long time.
Is that still happening? Because that was a great idea that I don't know that is. I haven't heard about that in a year either, but it was a great idea.
I mean, if they made that a DVC, you know, I mean, I don't know, it'd be pretty epic.
Yeah, it would be. Let's hope. We'll keep bringing it up until it happens. I mean, we're pretty good at that on the show.
Right.
We just say stuff and it happens, so we'll keep saying it. All right, well, we got to roll because we're at the top of the hour, Vero Mike, but we'll talk to you next Sunday. You have a good week.
I love the idea of the Indiana Jones, though. That's awesome.
All right, rock on. We'll talk to you later.
All right, guys.
See you. And George in the live chat has the quote of the night: 80s for the win. There you go. All right, Scott. Well, it's been a good one. A lot of fun tonight, man. We talked about a little bit of everything, but this might have been my favorite live call-in show for.
Yeah, we talked about Dexter Riley from that was my favorite part when you had no idea who Dexter Riley was from the Medfield College.
You had no idea what PitchCom was. So
yeah, I know. We learned things today, Mike.
We did. We talked. I mean, think about it. This show. We had the Landry's card for Yak and Yeti. We had PitchCom. We had Dexter somebody from the Computer War sneakers.
Yeah. Yep.
We talked Dick Van Dyke. We talked Dick Donato from Big Brother.
Oh my gosh, that's right.
I mean,
Hulk Hogan was mentioned.
Exactly.
Yes.
If you want a variety show, that is what we brought you over the last hour. So if you're listening on Thursday, I mean, I don't know what Friday is going to bring you, but I don't know if it can get any better than this show. Just kidding. So if you hung with us for this hour,
I just thank everyone for hanging with us. I appreciate you.
Yeah, it was a little crazy tonight, but that's what we do. So we'll be back again next Sunday night. Join us for that again, 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Central. And of course, this week we'll have these shows Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. But don't forget, our show is always brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel. The agents are standing by with tired fingers, but fingers nonetheless, to get your quote out to you right away for those 2023 Walt Disney World packages. Yes, we can do that now. Now, remember, here's the thing, though. Savvy Disney fans, I've had a few guests that remembered this. We cannot get to Christmas 2023 yet. You know why, Scott, right? I'm testing you. Why can I not book 2023 Christmas?
I probably because they don't have the ticket pricing yet. I don't know, Mike. Why is that?
So there's a rule with Disney. You can only book 499 days.
Oh, that's right.
And that is the case. So right now we're right at the end of October. So here's the trick. If you ever want to know, I'll give you my Black Diamond travel agent tip. When somebody asks me, like, can I book it? And it's like questionable whether it's within the range. It's based on your checkout date too. You got to have the entire trip within 499 days. So what you do is you just yell out to your Alexa or Siri and you say blank, what day is 499 days from today? And it will tell you, and that if that date is there, you're good. So I don't have some magical calendar that everybody probably thinks I have on the wall in my office. Nope, I'm not that sophisticated. I just yell at a little Echo Dot that costs $20 that sits on my desk. So
499 is such a random number too. I feel like
it is. I know. 499. Are you out of your mind? Was that still got a commercial back in the day?
Yes.
Yeah, my wife just rolled her eyes at me because she just walked down the stairs. Okay, so we are going to get out. Again, magicforless.com. They sponsor all this nonsense, and I'm just glad Pam's not here tonight. But hey, they're great sponsors, and we appreciate your support.
I think Pam would appreciate
I think she would
the
too.
episode tonight. Yeah.
I think so too. We have our Amazon affiliate link. Speaking of Amazon, just please click through that anytime you shop online. BRGuestPodcast.com/Amazon. And a huge shout out to our patrons. You guys support all of everything we do. Could do without you. And our patrons get Mike in the Midwest every week. Come on over, patreon.com/BRGuestPodcast. Of course, follow Scott on the Instagram and Twitter @EpScott. He is a great follow. You get baseball, you get Disney, you get Lansing Lugnuts, you get golf. You get great pictures over at Palm Trees of Disney on Instagram as well. Follow me, BRGuest Mike on Instagram and Twitter. You'll get a little Blue Angels from this past weekend. You get a little running, a little Disney, a lot of fun stuff there. And of course, Facebook and YouTube, just search for the BRGuest Podcast. You'll get an alert every time we go live. All right, we're going to get out of here and let you get on with your Thursday. If you're listening on the feed, Sunday night, if you're listening live with us here on the feed, and let you get going. So for Scotty G, I'm Mike, wishing you a great Sunday night or Thursday. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you real soon. Boom.
That was kind of fun. We were kind of all over. I like
that's
episodes
my
like
kind
this.
of show, though. That was
I love episodes like
fun.
this.
That was a ton of fun. I like that. All right.
That's what I'm saying, man. We could just do like a generic show about anything. Like,
We totally
you
could.
got a question about anything in life? Like, talk
Right.
to Mike and Scott. We got you.
Right. Ask us anything.
Yes.
Anything. All right. Is somebody texting you? You got to get dinner?
Oh no, yeah. I mean, Elizabeth just said, like, when are you guys done?
Like, you guys gonna talk forever about stuff? I get it.
It might be bad tonight, man. We might just do some fast food tonight. We didn't go grocery shopping because golf ran late. The girls had to do some stuff. They went to like Michael's and bought some craft stuff. So
yeah. I had my Taco Bell already. So, but I mean,
you're fueled up.
I'm kind of feeling like a Dairy Queen run because I got the doors off the Jeep, and they'll probably. I mean, it's like I said, the heat index was 106 when I started the show, so it's a Dairy Queen night.
Yeah, it's gonna get hot this week for us.
Oh, it's gonna be the heat index tomorrow is supposed to be 111. That's like you don't even go outside hot.
No.
Like that's just like that's like you don't want to take the dog out to go to the bathroom hot.
You walk out.
Oh.
I've been to Florida and Walt Disney World in those days. You know, you get ready for the day in your nice, cool room. You know, you step out the door and then like it just hits you, and then you're like, "All right, I'm putting my swim trunks on instead. Forget this."
Yeah, Riley walks out there because she's like, we're getting her haircut on Friday, but like our groomer place, you call them and they don't have an appointment for like a month because they don't have enough people working. Yeah. And she is like a bear right now. Like she's got so much hair. She's black. So like you take her out in the sun, she's immediately like you just pet her. She's like blazing hot. She's got on like because Pam's like, you can't take her for a walk. It's like taking her with because I have like a North Face coat. Right. She's like, if you're gonna take her for a walk, you go put on your black North Face coat. You walk around with her. I'm like, I'm not doing that. She's like, well, then take her inside. Yeah, like, well, she's got to poop.
Oh man,
Brenda's got us banned from YouTube because I said that. Anyway,
yeah.
All right, so I will. I'll catch it. So I'll let you know about if Pam can make it. I don't know. I never know. So
okay,
I know she's traveling soon. So
okay,
be ready. Be ready on standby.
All right, I'll be ready. I should be home.
You know we have fun when we do these. So
I know they're fun.
We have too much.
We didn't even talk like Disney cruise tonight. Really, I'm still like on a cruise high right now.
I know. That's what I thought we were going to talk about tonight. Actually, I kind of did want to talk about that, but no, next time. All right. Well, hey, tell everybody we said hey. We'll see you guys soon.
All right. See you, everyone.
See you, everybody.
Bye.